Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brianne and this is Bree's Knits. Today I'm coming at you with a podcast. It's a catch up for April and May so far, and then maybe just gonna talk about what I'm doing for June. I do have some sewing and knitting. Usually I only do knitting, but with the closure of Joann's, rest in peace, I got a lot of fabrics and got back into sewing. So yeah, that's really it. I was into sewing for a while, and then I went to, I don't know what the heck this is, so sorry about that. But got into sewing for a while, and then was in grad school, so it's kind of hard to do. And I also was like very much a perfectionist mindset at that time, so not amazing for morale. But I'm gonna try to go not sewing first, knitting first if you're here just for the knitting, and then sewing later. So I guess we should just get straight into it. Actually, I'm gonna bring you a little bit closer. Give me one second. I think this works for now. But so to recap, I was gonna make a video in May for my April makes, but then in the first 2 weeks in May was like week and a half of May was very, very hectic, chaotic, very busy. And then my whole family, my whole house, we got struck by whatever was going around. I think we got the flu. And if I'm like really chatty in this one, I'm really sorry, or like seems like my energy is kind of chaotic. From California, grew up in LA County area. So I'm feeling really anxious today. Today is June 8th. It's just been chaotic few days. I'm not in LA anymore. Moved out of LA County a while ago, but it's still just nerve-wracking. It's like a lot of my family's in LA County. I still got a lot of love for the city. Do I like driving in there? No, but it's still like not okay. And like there's just no way that I can just live without that anxiety. Like what does that mean for the future? But like the future of our cities, the future of our state, the future of everything. So just really anxious right now, and I'm noticing that I'm really turning towards my crafts for that. I guess not really crafty. I don't know. I feel like crafts are different, like for me, arts and crafts feel like things you make from like a paper plate and like some little fun fuzzy balls and like pipe cleaners, but like knitting and sewing specifically I don't know, like I know it's a craft, it's an art form, it's making your clothes, but like I don't know, like is there like a different word that you guys use? But like you see what I mean, like my anxiety anyway. So I'm just like turning towards it a lot, and I like want to cast on, I want to start new projects, but like obviously I need to slow down, I need to like focus. And I've noticed that recently I'm like, I need to focus on what I need to finish, because I keep starting things and then like there's just a pile of things waiting for me, and I'm like, I'll do it later, but like I need to do it now. So anyway, yeah, so May we were struck down, didn't want to do anything. I was really tired actually all the time. Also, let me tell I don't know why I did that, but anyway, so struck down by the flu and kind of started getting like a little bit better. But obviously, like I was also doing stuff in May, like making things. And I think like by the end of May, like last week of May, I was starting to feel like a lot better. I was probably like 95% better. Now I feel amazing. I feel great. But that just took a while. It took a lot out of us. So this is going to be my recap of April and May for right now. So as far as knitting goes, in April, I didn't do a lot of knitting. I did finish we're just going to jump into it, by the way. So in April, I finished my Colorwork Cuff Club socks. by Summerly Knits. These are a green tweed for the main color, and this really bright, like violet purple. So, excuse me. These are my first ever colorwork socks ever. I did one of them, I think it was this one, like 2 times, I think. I did it according to the pattern, but then I realized like my tension was a little too tight. Like I couldn't even get it over my heel. So when I went to go try it on before doing the heel flap, and someone on Instagram, I think I mentioned it before, was kind enough to message and say, hey, you don't have to pick up every, like trap every stitch every so often. So I went way looser on my gauge with that needle and took that advice, and it worked out in my favor. So I really love the color combinations. I think they're so cute. The green yarn is Yoriko Oni, I think, or Ori. She's a Canadian-based dyer. This is, the color is Evergreen. It's in a tweed sock base. And the purple is Dusty Yarn Co. from her Bluey collection. It's called Granny's. So I still have a little bit of that left, and I want to put it in like the sister, I think that's what it's called, sister scarf from Petite Knit. It's a free pattern. So want to do that for the fall, for like the chaotic English woman, frazzled English woman fall. But yeah, so these are one that I finally finished the second sock with. And then in April, I finished my babushka bandana from Les Poules. Pretty sure that I didn't meet gauge. I didn't do a gauge swatch, so obviously that's my fault. The yarn is Sorella yarn, and their classic DK and Boulangerie. Was this a pleasant experience? For me, it wasn't. I kept making it to this point and then ripping it all back because the increases weren't making sense, and I kept trying to do it like, usually I try to do everything according to pattern at least once and then make modifications another time. It wasn't working out for me here, and then so I started doing it my own way, and then the increases finally clicked, so then I was able to do it. But it's still like, the way the pattern was written out wasn't, I had to do a lot of thinking for myself, and I kind of hate having to do my own thinking, if I'm being honest. But we did it. I did want to make one for the fall. Is it going to happen? I don't know. We'll see. But I was very satisfied with this. I made it mainly like to actually wear as like a little bandana on like my clothes like this, or I don't know. I just thought it would be cute. Have I worn it as an actual bandana yet? No. Should I? Maybe. My hair's getting poofier though, and like a little bit longer. I'm letting my hair grow out, and it's getting like, with the length, it's more poof. So it's kind of hard to like style this in the manner that I like. My summer like kerchiefs and bandanas are amazing because they're shorter. This one's very long. I don't think it was intended. I think I did measure it, and I am like it's a lot bigger than it should be, but it is what it is. So that was basically it for April for knitting anyway. So we can just go ahead and go on to May. So for my May knitting, I guess I only really did 2 things. So for May, I think I've mentioned it before, we have a couple of babies coming in our family, or in my family at least, because they're on different sides of the family. But I made this little bonnet. Isn't it so cute? It's the sumac bonnet. I forgot who makes it. I'll try to write it in. I did just I-cord straps and attached it on. The yarn, I think it's supposed to be a DK weight pattern. It's a free pattern, by the way. So the sumac bonnet, so SUMAC bonnet. It's supposed to be DK weight, but I used worsted weight yarn because I had it left over. It's from Teeny Button, I believe. It's from her Anastasia collection. I made a Sophie shawl with it a while ago and I had extra, so I made another bonnet. I still have like enough for maybe another bonnet or baby beanie, so maybe I'll make that. But for now, this is it. That's all. And then I want to present this. It's not finished by any means, but it's a whip that has been on this channel more than once, but I finished the body and it's my husband's, you can't really see it that well. It's my husband's Moby sweater. And it keeps going. And there we are. Finished the body at last. So for my husband, I'm not doing the Moby man. I just did the Moby sweater. But instead of worsted, I did DK. So I think I had to size up a needle. Yeah, I think I sized up a needle for this. And I had to make it 26 inches total for his torso. So it's very long. He tried it on already. He likes how it fits. Amazing. So now I have to do the arms and the collar. But I think if I pick it up again soon, I'm going to do the collar first. Just so it looks a little bit more realized. And then I'll do the sleeves later. I'm not looking forward to the sleeves, but here's hoping they go by a lot faster. Because it's a smaller circumference, but we'll see. I don't know. Look at that. Look at that armhole. I don't really know if it'll be that much more pleasant. So I've made some significant progress on that. A lot of our sick nights, I was just working on this. So I feel good about that. And then I started another baby bonnet. I really hope my family are not watching this, but if you are, hi. It is another baby bonnet. It is also in the Sorella yarn Boulangerie. I have a lot of it, but it's just a cute little pink peachy color. Look at that. It's the sumac bonnet again. It's fairly easy. I honestly could finish it in a night. I just didn't. I think I'm actually almost there to like do the decreases and then bind off soon. I think I just started sewing a few things that I was like, I need to set this aside and then come back to it later. Just because it's so fast. I'm trying to do like my timelines of sewing and knitting projects with the baby showers. So one of them is a lot sooner than the other. So I'm like trying to pace myself so I'm not like stressing myself out. But yeah, that's it. So currently I do have a couple of whips right now. I'll go ahead and show that to you before we wrap up the knitting section. So right now I'm working on the Etta Bag 2.0 by Paula Stritt. And here, the yarn here looks a lot more like cherry red, I would say. But it's actually like more of a jewel tone purple. But I'm making, yeah, it's like a market bag basically. I just cast it on yesterday. The yarn for it is actually an acquisition, which I'll talk about in a little bit, but there's that one. It's not a lot of progress on it. And then another one was a spring make that I wanted to make. I'm going to keep holding, but I know it's June and everyone, once June starts, it's like, oh, summer's here. I like to like just like count it by the solstice. So technically it's still spring. And I feel it sometimes with the June gloom in the mornings, but I'm making my winter clutch bag and I made significant more progress because before I was just on one half of the bottom. So I finished the bottom and now we're just doing the rest of the body. I know it's just a garter slip stitch and a lot of people will probably be like, I would have been done with that already. You probably would have, but I had a lot of other stuff happening. So I feel like this is pretty good progress since the last time I mentioned it, I guess. Because if I showed it in my last podcast, that's basically where I picked it up and started working on it again for like the past week or so. It is not painful, but I have to do the repeats, I think like 2 or 3 times before reaching an entire inch. I'm not working with sport weight yarn. I'm just working with fingering weight yarn because it's what I have and I'm kind of just vibing with it. I thought about adding mohair with it, but I didn't want to. So here we are. But I'm really excited for it now. I really love the color that's coming from it. And then suddenly I've been getting the idea of like in the like ditches, I guess, or where the slip stitches are and the knits are, part of me wants to like go back in and sew in some beads because I just thought that would be really cute. But I don't know. I don't know if I want to commit to that because the beads I have are really small. So we'll see. But yeah, that's it for my whips for now. I actually have some acquisitions that I do want to show you. There are some that I can't show you because I put them away, and honestly, I don't feel like getting them because I have to reach up high and my back hurts and I'm getting old. So no thank you right now. I'll just tell you what it is, but I'm gonna go grab the other wear. Be right back. I just realized I feel like I kind of just mumbled when I said blah, 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 blah. I'll be right back. But I just said I'm gonna go grab the yarn and I'll be right back. Anyway, so yesterday, this is the start of the acquisitions part, just in case you're wondering, and also for editing Brianne. Anyway, so yesterday, Hands On Knitting Center in Redlands, California had a in-store yarn crawl. In-store? Did I say that? I don't know. Sometimes you see things, you know, and then you're like, what did I say? That happens to me a lot. Anyway, she had an in-store yarn crawl and I was like, you know what? I'm going to go. And then I saw Sorella Yarn was dropping their Dolce Vita summer collection. And I was like, maybe I shouldn't go because on like the first post, the Roma yarn, that beautiful red orange, I was like, amazing. I can get that in a Silk DK. But I was like, you know what? Let me just go support local. And on top of that, like in the post, I think they had mentioned like, you know, they can't be a part of the LA City Yarn Crawl because they're not in LA. They're like a whole hour away from Pasadena, which I think is like the last stop usually on the yarn crawl. And so they're like, we're just gonna do like host a few of our favorite like yarn dyers in the store, and then they did raffles, and it was a lot of fun. So I did end up going. And also I was thinking about it, like Hands On Knitting Center usually has a lot of good like clearance yarns for the most part. Like go in every so often, I tend to buy at least 1 or 2 yarns from their clearance section, because they'll start at 20% off all the way to like 40% off, I believe. And sometimes they have Noro yarn on sale. So they did this time too. They had like the Noro linen with paper. Like you could use it in like the Florence bag or like the Coastal bag from Petite Knit. I almost bought it, but I didn't because I forgot who it was that said the experience was not nice like with that type of yarn. And like, I love a good bag pattern, but I'm not going to put myself through that. So where was I going with this? Anyway, so I wanted to go because Oink Pigments was going to be there. There was a few, like I am thinking about specific yarns that I have in mind. I wanted plant-based yarns. I wanted plant wool blends. And I also wanted cotton because I did want to make my market bag. And I do have a lot of the shiny happy cotton from Wool and the Gang in the eucalyptus color, I think it's called, which is like a sage green, but which is like basically would have matched my nails. But at the same time, I didn't want another market bag in it. I've made one for my sister-in-law. I made an orange one for my aunts. And now I just want one that felt like, I don't know, a little bit different. So I got this, I already forgot what it was called. It's from Circulo. Oh yeah, no, I remember now. It's from Circulo. It is aloe vera. The shop owner called it the Vera yarn. I forgot what I think it's. I keep saying I forgot. It's called. I think it's the color is Bordeaux. I put the like insert. Sorry, I put the insert inside the cake. So I think it's Bordeaux, like the wine. Bordeaux. It's a purpley color. It's like a jewel tone purple color. There was like a good amount of skeins of this in the store, and it's 100% cotton, I think. I'm pretty sure. I shouldn't have tucked this in there now that I think about it. But I think it's like when I got to the end of it, I wanted to be able to talk about it. You know what? I have my phone next to me. Let me see if I can look it up really quickly for you guys. But Yeah, I think that one was like 20% off, which was pretty good. Okay, so that yarn is a blend of cotton, viscose, and aloe vera. It is really soft, like super soft. It's like I feel like even softer than just 100% cotton, like the shiny happy cotton. So it's like really nice to work with and very like slippery. It does split, but I've heard that plant-based yarns does split. So I guess take that for that. Let me see. I see, oh, the Knitting Tree even sells them. Yeah, it's just, yeah, aloe vera yarn from Circulo. There you go. Oh, yeah, it's Bordeaux. So the color name is Bordeaux. There you go. Sorry, I don't know where I got the Bordeaux from. Anyway, so I got a couple other things. I went, like I said, for Oink Pigments. I wrote down like specific base types I wanted if I had seen them. But I didn't get anything from them just because they only had 100% wool, and that's not what I was looking for. And I want to be, I know I've seen some people like joke at like California knitters. They'll like use the word mindful, but I really did want to be mindful with my shopping and like be very intentional. Like, this is what I came in here for. Otherwise, I'll want to buy everything just because it looks pretty. Went straight for the clearance area first, just to take a look, just to see if they had any cotton yarns that I wanted. They did. So I got a couple of skeins of those for the bag, for the Etta bag. And then I wanted to do the Margot top. I've been wanting to do that for a very long time too. And when Sorella dropped the first color, the Roma color, that beautiful like tomatoey red that looked like it had orange tones in it, I was like, I probably won't go to the yarn crawl, but I still ended up going. And I was like, you know what, if I find a substitute for that color that looks close enough, like, I'm just not gonna buy it, especially if it's like a little bit cheaper, because money. Because I do like Sorella's colors, but like also, you know, I also wanted just to be mindful of that, I guess. So I did find this on camera. Again, it looks a lot brighter than what it is for some reason. It looks very bright. But when I put it up next to me, I feel like I see the desired effect of what I want. And I love red. I love a good red. I have waited eons for like the perfect rust red, and that's when I got Sorella yarn. I think it was the brownstone color, I forgot. But I have that, and I need to make my sweater with it already. But I got this. I got 4 skeins. It's called Wool Pop. It has 50% bamboo, 35% superwash wool, and 15% polyamide. And each skein was only $14.25. And because I've shopped at Hands On Knitting Center before, I got a $5 off. So technically I got $5 off of this. Because the total for just these would have been like $54. So with the $5 off, it was like $49 for 4 of them. So that's cool. It's like I got $1 something off of each one. Yay, math. Anyway, so they are DK weight. They didn't have any worsted weight blend that I was looking for, but I was like, you know what, I'll just change my gauge. Oops, forgot to silence my phone. Anyway, so yeah, I'm really excited to work with these. I don't know what else to say. It kind of looks like slightly, not variegated, but I don't know if that's like the polyamide holding it together. Hopefully you can see it. There's like strands that look like it's wrapping around the yarn. I don't know if you can see it, but they look like threads, almost like looping. Oop, focus. Okay. They look like threads looping around the yarn. So I thought that was kind of cool too, but I just think it will make up for a very nice and very beautiful Margot top that I've been wanting. And I feel like this red with like the jeans that I wear, I act like they're special jeans. They're not. I feel like this red with a pair of like nice classic crisp jeans would just look so good and so like effortlessly put together. So I'm very excited about that. That was like, I don't know why I'm still laughing at myself. I thought that was so ridiculous. With the jeans I wear, no, they're just jeans. They're just regular old solid medium wash to dark wash jeans. I think they would look really good. Even with white jeans, they probably look really great. Anyway, continuing on, Peekaboo Yarns is stocked at Hands On Knitting Center, but they had a specific, the owner, dyer of Peekaboo Yarns was there. Oop, you got up. She was there, and she was at her table selling it and kind of just showing off the yarn. She made a specific yarn color for the in-store yarn crawl, and it's this one. It's so pretty. It's a DK Boucle base. Unfortunately, though, she only had one. And I was like, you know what, I'll just buy it. And she's like, I can always dye another one for you. And I was like, oh, okay, thank you. So maybe I should reach out soon and ask. It is called Unwind. It has 492 yards, which I thought was really good for $30. That's amazing for a DK weight base. Beautiful. But yeah, it's a boucle. Oh my gosh, there we go. Focus. It's a boucle yarn. And I'm not sure if you guys remember, but I had gotten another yarn from Superglow Fibers that was like a blue, purple, yellow color. And while I liked it, I think when I knit it up together for Gauge Watch, I wasn't in love with it, and I was trying to convince myself it would look good on me. I don't think I didn't like it like that anymore, which now I kind of regret buying the Surrey, but maybe I can find use for it later in the future. But when I found this color, I was like, excuse me, hello, this is the blue for me. But because I only have one skein, I don't know, because the other yarn I was going to make my California sweater with it. But now I'm kind of iffy about it. And when I saw this, I was like, this would be a good California sweater. But for the California sweater, the smallest size is a 720 yard. You need 720 yards for the smallest. I would be at a medium size, which would need at least 900 yards. So I would definitely need another one. But okay, just follow me here. Part of me was okay, I looked at the schematics and measurements full body for the size medium, and I was like, okay, what if I made it super cropped or just cropped in general? So then maybe I'll use less yarn, but then I have to worry about the arm. So I was like, okay, what if I just started knitting the body, and depending on how I feel, go from there on asking, the dyer for another yarn, because either way, now they're going to be different, colored yarns, I guess. Do I want to do helical knitting? Not really. No, honestly, it doesn't look nice to me. No. Okay, it looks beautiful. It doesn't seem like a pleasant experience for me. That's what I meant. Okay. But I really like the color. I feel like this is the beautiful Mediterranean ocean blue that I've been looking for. It says works best with light colors. I have my sapphire blue from Superglow Fibers, and my husband's like, yeah, why don't you just use both? And I'm like, yes, I can hold them together. That's not the problem. It's if I need the extra meterage, you know what I mean? So I don't know. And he's like, why don't you just use a small project? I'm like, no, I want it to be a top. I want it for something. So I don't know if you guys know of any pattern out there, or you think I can pull it off, let me know. Look at that beautiful color. Look at that beautiful variation. I love. She did have more of this color in a fingering weight yarn or a worsted weight, I think. But I just thought the boucle would be really nice, because the California sweater is supposed to be nice, big, and airy. And I'm going to get cut off soon, so I'm going to stop right here, come back. Okay, I'm back. So, because my camera cut me off. Anyway, so yeah, I really want to use this for the California sweater. I might just start it, honestly, and then kind of go from there and see if I need another skein dyed, if that would be a possibility. But yeah, the California sweater is supposed to be really big, open gauge, kind of flowy. So I was like, okay, maybe we'll make it work with cropped and maybe some not tapered sleeves, I guess, just keep it going. So it's flowy, but that might require more yardage. I don't know. I'm like not that like locked in with the math. That was just an idea, but that's what I got. That's my yarn acquisition. Oh wait, I did get one more yarn. I got Knitting for Olive Soft Silk Mohair. I think it's in bottle green, because I do have a green yarn from Woolly Knits, and I've been really wanting to do the Maggie cardigan, like the long sleeve version I've been seeing a lot of people do, so that's why I got it. I thought I'd be starting it a lot sooner, but then I started sewing, so here we are. And with that sewing talk, I'm going to end off the knitting portion of this video. And if you guys are interested and want to stay for all of my sewing adventures, thank you. You can stay. I'd be more than happy to have you with me. If the knitting is all you're here for, that's also cool. Like, no worries. I hope you have a good day. Hope you have a good one. Bye, girl. Love you. Stay safe. Life is crazy. But yeah, I'm just gonna start now into the sewing projects. So let's like go back in April. So I did finish a project that I handed off to one of my friends. I made her a dress, the blue dress that I made. Someone in the comments last time had talked about sloped shoulders, and I don't know why I didn't think about it. So with my friend, I like measured a top that she really likes that sits really well on her shoulders, and I just sewed it. I think it was like 9 inches basically from like strap to strap. So that's how I sewed her sleeves on, and they looked great on her. So I did the same thing to my dress, and now my sleeves don't fall. So thank you so much for that comment, if that was you. So I made another one for my friend, and then I made a baby doll tier dress. The designer's name is Chiara Bolero, I think. I will put everything in the description. But this fabric was from Joann Fabrics. It was a licensed fabric for Star Wars. A few people from a Disney meetup group. Actually, the Disney meetup group was going to go for Star Wars, basically. And so we all kind of like get dressed up and have fun. And it's usually just like a nice, fun-filled day to just like catch up and talk to people. But it was Star Wars themed. I think just before the meetup, I just saw 4, 5, and 6. I'm more of a person that like wants to watch the quality get better. Controversial opinion, I guess, because some people were like, no, you have to watch in chronological order. And I'm like, I want to watch it in release order, because you know what? That's up to me. And my husband has no strong feelings of either or, so we just watched it. I also just watched Lord of the Rings 2, the trilogy, and like, boy, am I into it. Anyway, so watched 4, 5, 6. I watched Andor, and I watched Rogue One right after, and I'm wrecked. Anyway, so I watched at least 4, 5, and 6 and a little bit of Andor before the meetup. But I had already watched The Mandalorian, and I thought that one was pretty fun. So I got a Grogu pattern fabric. It says the force is strong with this one. So I made my, let me see if I can, there we go. Made my baby doll tier dress. It's 3 tiers. So the top, 2nd tier, 3rd tier. I'm gonna be honest with you. So the sleeves are not as hard as I thought they were gonna be. Let me bring you back in. Ooh, okay. The sleeves are not as hard as I thought they were gonna be, and I thought they were gonna be hard. The bias binding was insanely hard for me to figure out, but I got there. So this is like my first, actually I've done the pillowcases, but like for dressmaking, my first foray in a very long time. I did the gathers according to how, so the designer has a YouTube video. I watched it and I was doing it along with her. And she does the gathers with basting stitches, and then you gather them all together and then clip them. To me, a little bit of a hassle to do all of that. But when I did do it because I was like, okay, I'm going to do it according to how she recommends it. And then if there's an easier way to do it or a different way to do it, then I'll go ahead and do that. But then when I'm sewing, I'm realizing that the gathers are almost pleating, if that makes sense. Like, I don't know if you guys can see that, but it looks like pleats in some sections and not gathers. So if you guys have like a way to fix that, I did see there's a gathering foot and I have a singer. So I'm like, okay, maybe I'll get a gathering foot and then like test it out on some scrap fabric that I have, because one of my friends had seen me in this dress and I had offered to make her a birthday dress. And her fabric is the Peter Pan fabric because that's her vibe. So I bought the fabric already. I already have it with me. But I was like, oh, like I want the gathers to look better for her. So if you guys have tried gathering foots and you really like it, just let me know. But I don't know. Do you guys see it? Like sometimes it really does feel like they look like pleats. Do you see what I mean? Like instead of gathers. So I think that would be the only thing is like when I was sewing it, like, yeah, part of it did look gathered, but then like they were flattening out even though I had them clipped. So like, I don't know if that was like user error, probably most likely. But also my buttonhole maker broke and I did everything according to the instructions and they broke. Not only did the presser foot broke, my needles broke. 2 needles broke. So I ended up doing the buttonholes by hand, which like took forever. Don't recommend, but also like they look a little wonky. But like I would like to be able to do it with my machine for my friends. So I don't know what went wrong there. Should I have just hand cranked it? I don't know. But anyway, so that's one that I did for the meetup, and I did another project for the meetup because I wanted it to be matching. I don't know, I just thought it'd be fun. And I did the Crosstown Crescent bag by Graco Makes, I believe her name is. I just use what do you call it? Quilting cotton. So I think that's why it's definitely like I said, I want to try to do the patterns first as it says directly. And then if I want to change anything later, I'll go ahead and change it. But like, so this, let me stand up. This is like pretty flimsy, I guess. So in the pattern, Grace mentions you can definitely add an interfacing, but if you pick like a heavier weight fabric, you don't need to. But I was like, you know what? Like, I'm not going to do that just because I want to see how it ends up being, I guess. And I do think that if I make, which I do have another one planned in mind, I would add interfacing to it because I use quilting cotton to keep it like a little bit more stiff and sturdy. It isn't my first time adding a zipper in, but it is my first time adding an inner pocket. Oh yeah, I used the Grogu fabric on the inside again. I used a little, I don't know what the heck this is. It must have gotten dirty from like food or something. But yeah, I think the green is like Kona Fabrics. I had to do a bias binding on the inside. That was harder than the dress. Let me tell you what. Also, I didn't realize how easy bias binding was to make until I saw Sydney Graham make hers. And I was like, that's not that hard. Why did I think it was hard? The construction was like fairly easy. Grace also has a video, but I think like once it got to here, I was definitely doing a lot of hand cranking just to be like a little bit more precise. The webbing, like the strap, I feel like I could have made it a lot shorter because look at how much hangs off. But that's also like up to preference, I guess. But like I said, I was doing it exactly as a pattern. So anything that was told to me, like I just did it. And then next time I'm going to modify it because I do want to make a red one pretty soon here. But yeah, I'm honestly like overall pretty pleased with it. Anytime I go to the store and I think about like, I don't know, buying like a cross bag like this, I'm like, I have one already. No, stop it. I have a whole pattern for one. So I have other ones planned. I'm actually going to be making my friend one. So there's like a couple bags. So like, I feel like this one kind of gives like almost Bagu energy. If I made it with like a nylon, probably more. But one of my friends has really been into Stony Clover Lane, but only for their Toy Story line, because she used to work the Toy Story ride, the Pixar Mania. She used to work that one at Disneyland when she worked there, and she also likes Bagu bags. So I was gonna make her one. She already knows this. I let her see the fabric too. It's a Toy Story fabric. It's so cute. It's like a bunch of just like you'll see it later, but like Toy Story all over. And then on the inside, I was gonna do red lining, and there's definitely enough of the red one to make another bag, so I'll probably use that for myself later. What inner lining, I don't know, so we'll see. Maybe I'll do like a contrasting bag, so like hers would be Toy Story on the outside, red on the inside, and mine would be red on the outside, Toy Story on the inside. Who knows? But I was really excited for that one. Like I was like over here like mentally picking everything out, like the fabrics and stuff, which honestly is like, I don't know. I was just excited about it. So I'm really excited to make that again, to make the bag again. The video was very comprehensive and it's a pretty good pattern. I like it. It's very spacious and there's a lot accommodating in there. Anyway, enough talk about that one. I feel like I talked about those ones a lot. So another couple of items that I made that I will probably yap about a lot are these Me Oh My short overalls. I forgot what they're called. Like there's a specific name to the pattern. So I'm trying to pull them up. They're basically overalls for toddlers. These are straight out of the wash, so actually not straight. They've been laying around for a little bit, so they're a little wrinkly. But they're supposed to have snaps. Oh my lord. Dude, this isn't ridiculous. So I ordered some on Amazon. Of course, I probably should have known, but literally this happened the first time I had to separate them, which is basically like, look, it came off. The backing for the cover came off completely. So I was like, oh my goodness, I knew it. I should have just gone with sew-on snaps, but I went against my own intuition. And this is always what happens. Because like, look, this one is still on it. Removed. I don't think I even add that much force. And that section is removed from the cover. Literally, it was just attached. And now it's removed. And so I'm not happy with that because I was going to make multiples and I was planning on making one for one of the people having a baby because she's having a boy. And I was like, how cute. Everyone could be matching. These are also cotton, quilting cotton from Joann's. I got like the rest of the bulk because I was like, oh, cool. Like, totally can make matching cute little outfits. No, not with the, like I did them multiple times. I wasted like 5 or 6 different snaps and snap covers. I'm annoyed. I'm freaking annoyed. And I'm glad I did it with these ones because I have a few other ones planned, like the same overalls, but in a cotton gauze. And I feel like if I had to keep taking out these freaking covers all the time, maybe I can keep the covers on. The covers are fine, actually. It's just the other parts that keep coming off. So I'm thinking that if I sew them on, hopefully it'll be okay. And like, that way, now I'm just grateful that I did it on this first instead of the cotton gauze. I realized where I was going with that. Because with the cotton gauze, if I had to keep taking the snaps out, it would have ripped the fabric apart. It's a lot lighter and like, not flimsy, but like gauzier. So the pieces would have been falling apart a lot faster. But yeah, I'm going to fix that. I got new sew-on snaps. Got it from Amazon too, so we'll see how that works. But nonetheless, I have one more sewing project that I made at the end of May, and it is my Sandra skirt. You can't really see it. Okay. You still can't see it, but you get the picture. It took a very long time, and I'm going to be like, because, okay, so this skirt pattern, you do some French seams. This was my first time ever doing French seams. You do a rolled hem. My first time successfully doing a rolled hem, and even then, successful is like, excuse me. Successful is like a little, I don't know if that's the right word, because there are definitely some bits where you got like pieces of fabric coming up. But oh, this I just washed it too, and I hang dried, so that's why it's like a little messy. But it is a linen rayon blend from Joann's, and I feel like I keep bringing up Disney, but honestly, Disney and like these meetups have been really spurring on my creativity, and I'm really grateful for that. I knew I wanted to make the Sandra skirt for the summer at least, so I went because I had they have these Princess Aurora ears that I have that are pink on one side and blue on the other. And recently I was telling my husband, like, how fun would it be to have, like, to make a dress, like a patchwork dress of pink and blues, and it'll be like my make it pink, make it blue, or the front side pink and the back side blue. That'd be so much fun. So then my sister, my mom, and I went to Disneyland as like a late Mother's Day celebration. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go like Little Princess Aurora, and I made the skirt in like a few days because I was like, I don't know what I'm gonna wear this week, and then I was like, my vision is there now. I have to make the skirt. So I made the skirt, did the elastic. I tried to do it the way Sydney had mentioned doing it. That was not working out for me. I really wanted to do it, so instead what I did was just made a I did the waistband. It's so freaking ridiculous. I think I did it like 3 or 4 times, but I made a channel and I just fed the elastic through it because I was over it by that point. I needed to sleep. Anyway, I'm very happy with it though. Overall, like the panels itself is pretty easy. I didn't make pockets in this because I didn't have enough fabric for pockets, but I still liked it. It was very pretty. Is it a color that like looks amazing on me? I don't know, but I don't think it looks bad. And also it's a skirt and it's just fun. So there's a skirt that I have in my closet that's like a black and white rayon skirt that I've had for a very long time. And I'm like thinking about repurposing the fabric because I've been like, oh, I want a new like, what do you call it? A new maxi skirt, because that one has been through it. I've had it for such a long time now. Anyway, okay, so now let's talk about future plans. This is one of them. This is 100% linen that I purchased also at Joann's. It is honestly so beautiful. I feel like this is my power color. Like, I don't know, who is she in this color? Do you know what I mean? It's just cute. Like if you're, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. I don't think you can see it, but there is definitely like, you can see more strands of green woven in, and it almost feels like very two-toned, even though it's not. But I am going to be having like a little summer, I don't know, staycation, I guess. And I wanted to make, I also have had this in mind though. I want to make a summer set of the Sid tie top from Sydney Graham with this color, like do a sleeveless version, and then to use the Lane pants as a base for some linen shorts. And I think that'd be a really cute set. So I had thought about using this linen for, there's a dress called the Foxglove slip dress, but I was like, you know what? I just want to use it now. It's such a pretty color. And I think I can just always buy more teal linen. Is it going to be as cheap as this was? No, but that's always the option, to buy more. So I'm really excited to make that. That's definitely next on my list for myself. Like I said, I have that Crescent Crosstown bag in mind for my friend and a dress to make. But for myself, at least, I want to make this set. I think it'll be so much fun. And I do have like a few baby/toddler items I need to make. the overalls I showed you, it probably could have taken somebody else like 2 days to make all of the ones I want to make, but it took me like an evening, a whole evening to make those two. So I think from like 3 to like 10-ish, I made those two rompers. I don't know if that's good. Is that a good amount of time? I don't know. Like I had already cut all of the fabric. I had already ironed the fabric. I'd cut the pieces out already. Like this was just strictly working on the overalls. So that helped me gauge my time a little bit, but I want to like finish all of the toddler things so I can go ahead and work on my things. As far as knitting goes, I am really going to be focusing on, I don't know why, I've been really into bags. So I don't know why. Actually, I've always been in love with purses and bags even when I was younger. So I want to finish my winter clutch, hopefully before the summer solstice. I want to finish my market bag, which will probably be done pretty soon. And the bonnet I can finish in a night if I really want to, which I think I do, because I don't want to just like have it waiting there. There are a few. I gauge swatched for a Tulsa tank, the V-neck. I have some Sanasgarn Line, the tin Line, so like the really thin one, in like the olive green. And I think I have to size up my needle to 3.75 because I did a gauge swatch in 3.5 because I'm a tighter knitter than Rebecca, and I already know that from like a few patterns I've done with her. So yeah, I need to go up to 3.75. And then I do want to do the ivy top, but I don't know how soon I'll be able to get to that. And I also want to do the Antoinette camisole because I do have some, I was about to say petite knit yarn. No, I have some Knitting for Olive silk, just pure silk. But I don't have enough for like other tank tops, but the Antoinette camisole by Sari Norland seems like the right amount of yarn that I can use. Or I think there was something else that I could have done too, but I think I landed on that one. It also just seems like very useful and handy to have. But yeah, that's it really. So that's my catch up. That's everything I've done. I felt like I was really unproductive, but I sewed a lot and I learned a lot. Oh, I also did something else too, but it's like in the room somewhere, and I probably will need to show it to you another time because it's not actually done yet, but it's a sewing project. I was supposed to go to the Ren Fair in May, but that's when we all got sick. Could not go to the Ren Fair anymore. But I was making my son a pair of dragon wings, and I don't know if I messed up somehow, but I'll probably talk about it another time. Because I'm like, you know what? I at least am like partway through a Halloween costume for him, so that's fine. What are you guys working on? Like I said, in my mind, I thought I was like so unproductive these past few months, and I was like, I'm not gonna have anything to show for it. But then when I'm like talking about it, I'm like, holy crap, I did a lot. I did a lot of sewing. And I'm probably going to jump on my sewing machine right now too once I'm done filming because, like I said, I want to get some stuff out the way. I want to work on some of the bigger projects. Not get it out of the way, but like they're so small, like I feel like I should be done with them already. You know what I mean? So yeah, although you know what, like the amount of ironing that there's needed in sewing is insane. I feel like my back hurts more from ironing than from sewing. Does anyone else feel that way? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, if you have any tips for anything, really, leave them in the comments below. And also, have a safe summer, you guys. If you're in LA County, please be safe. Please be safe. Tell all your friends and family members to be safe as well. If you're not in LA County, keep LA County in your thoughts. And yeah, let's just all try to make this world a better place. Okay, bye.